talked a couple times during the last couple of weeks that the way the team practices is really a big key to getting this thing turned around. How has the last week of practice been?
Last week was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday was not very good. Day off Sunday, and then yesterday and today were both pretty good. So I think for the most part it's been consistently good, with the exception of one day, which I don't really have a reason for it. But it's been optimistic to say the least in terms of how we've practiced. So last week was an individual meetings week. Those conversations, for some, for some guys it wasn't easy, but it was real. This is where you are as an individual. This is where we are as a program, which is a little bit easier to see because everyone sees where we are. What our involvement is in that, we asked. Is there a way we can make it better for you? Is there a way we can be easier on you without expecting less? So that may have had something to do with it because it was a good reflection week and a good conversation week. But I thought the practices were good. I guess if you look at it, we've had 6 good ones out of 7 in the past week, so that's pretty good.
Are you pretty encouraged? I mean, obviously the answer will come during the games.
Yeah, I'm encouraged with a sense of reality in that the only people pushing back were each other. So that's not. I'm encouraged in relative terms to the practice. Some of the practices we've had before, we weren't able to string 4 good ones in a row together, and we were able to do that last week. So that's encouraging. But the reality sets in this Friday when somebody's pushing back.
In terms of on-ice work, having the bye week, does that give you a chance to work on anything more extensively, or is it just like every other week of practice?
It does give you opportunity to work on things, but I don't think any more extensively than any other week. We work on situations probably more than most, 5 on 6, 6 on 5. Sometimes it allows you to work on little things like blocking shots or details to your game, I find. Yeah, it does allow you to do things that you maybe wouldn't do in a normal week, but we did a lot of things that we would normally do because those are the things we're struggling with, the execution of our game plan.
What do you expect from Alaska this week?
They're a pretty skilled bunch. They've got that big Olympic sheet up there in Fairbanks, and I think they've got some good young players. There's some turnover there. They lost some forwards in particular. Actually, I take that back. I think they lost a little bit of both, forwards and D, and then even a goaltender. So I think they're a team that's doing better than people thought they would do. Not me. I knew they would be a formidable team again this year, and they're proving to be that. The details to our game, we've got to kind of make it a puck possession game down below the tops of the circles and not get into a track meet. It just doesn't work to our favor. It doesn't work to our advantage if that's what happens. We have to make them defend. Not that they don't want to defend, but I think they'd rather get up and go than defend. We're going to have to make them defend. So they're coming off a weekend where their power play struggled, but first and foremost, we have to not allow them careless opportunities anyway on the power play. And then when they do have them, we have to find a way to execute on the penalty kill. It is a little bit different killing penalties on the big ice sheet than it is the small sheet, just in terms of comfort level. And so we'll have to keep that in mind and make sure that we're aware of that going into Friday's game. But I don't see any reason why we won't be aware of it. We'll have a chance to practice both Thursday and Friday on that ice. So, we expect another formidable opponent in a place that, the biggest reason it's a tough place to play is just getting there. But I really think too much is put on the travel to get up there at times. It's 2 4-hour flights, a 4-hour bus ride followed by another 4-hour bus ride for these guys. They do no problem. So the travel is nothing more than it is what it is. We get up there. We have plenty of time to prepare, both on the ice and off. And come Friday night, there'll be no reason we can't be ready to go. So we expect the Lass is going to be ready to go after what looked like a tough weekend last weekend. But we haven't played in 10 days, so I'm expecting our guys to be ready to go. So it should be hopefully a good series.
The offensive end on the Olympic sheet of ice, is it usually more difficult to get pucks to the net than just the same as it is?
It can be because you get so caught up in puck possession, in the corners or down the low tops of circles, and you don't bring the puck to the net. But our focus is going to be get pucks to the net, just like it always is. I don't necessarily know if I buy into it. It's harder to create offense on big ice because that's more of a mindset to me, and our mindset is we need to do a better job of putting pucks in bodies to the other team's net. That's a work in progress for us. So I'm not looking at it as any more of a challenge or less being on the big sheet creating offense. We're also looking for our power play to be more of an impact in terms of the offense. I think we've moved it around better, but it hasn't resulted in anything, and we need results. So hopefully the combination of the 5-on-5 pucks and bodies to the net and our power play with pucks to the net will allow us to get enough shots to create offense.
Any concern about 10 days off creating any rust or anything like that?
No, because we were coming off of negative things happening. So it would be one thing if we had a bunch of momentum created with our play, and then the 10 days come and stops that momentum. We wanted to stop the momentum from the other angle because it was negative. So I'm hoping our guys look at it as another opportunity to play a game, and we haven't played a game in a while. So that's the only way we can look at it. I don't see any other reason why our guys would look at it as we haven't played in a while and there's rust there. We haven't played in a while, but there's a hunger there, I hope, and we've played too much hockey the first half of the year to have any rust at this point.
Cam Watala still good to go?
Yep. We're fairly healthy for the first time. Other than Tate and Sloat, which are more long term, we're pretty healthy.
You anticipate splitting the goalies again this weekend?
Kevin, I haven't given that a whole lot of thought. I mean, Andrew's played some good hockey, and the intention is to make the decision Friday, but I can't say I anticipate splitting them at this point today. I don't know.
So Fletch is back being in the conversation?
Yeah. Fletch is back. No, he's digging his way out of a little bit of a hole in terms of conditioning and stuff, so I think it's a stretch for him, but he is back out there in a normal color, practicing and competing to play.
Ryan, what has to happen to get things turned around?
Continue to focus on what we can control, and that's today. Getting better today, and I think the only way we know how to get out of things like this is by working. I think we're a hardworking team, but at least personally for me, when my game's not on, I know I have to do something, and usually it's work harder.
Coach Bergeron said the practices during the last week have been pretty good overall. He said 6 of the 7 are all but one of the practices. Have you sensed a little bit of change?
Yeah, I've sensed that. I think guys are responding to maybe the first third of the season. None of us are happy with the results. We can't get caught up in that, but yeah, it's what eventually it comes down to. So we haven't been happy with that, and I think guys have responded well with practice, and I think that's what's going to carry over to games.
What's something that you guys have to get more pucks on the net? What's something you guys have to focus on to make that more of a reality?
I think as forwards, we need to just make that our mindset to see if pucks, not only pucks, but get bodies there, because we could be shooting getting a lot of pucks to the net, but if there's no one in front, usually it's an easy save for the goalie. So I think starting simple with a guy getting to the front of the net and getting traffic and pushing him back in his crease.
What's the key to adjusting to playing on the big sheet?
So you can find yourself getting caught. I feel like outside, like the dots are the same, but you can get yourself caught outside on the wall, and it's a lot farther to the net. So trying to not get caught out in the corners too much, because it's a farther trip to the net, and still focus on attacking the net. But there will be more space for, I think, for speed for some of our faster guys, and more time to make plays. But, still got to make sure we're pushing the pace, I think.